Hey everyone, it's Krista. Welcome to my channel, Blooms and Brushstrokes. For those of you that are new here, thank you so much for joining me. And for those of you that are returning, thank you so much for continuing along the journey with me. It's a lot of fun. I really enjoy doing these YouTube tutorials with you guys and shorts and all that good stuff. Your support and love is so greatly appreciated. It's kind of funny. I was monetized about a couple months ago on YouTube, which it took me quite a while because I've had a really slow, it's been a slow growth to my channel, which is all fine and dandy. However, I will be making my very first YouTube paycheck at the end of this month for $173. I think that's US dollars. Anyways, so thank you guys for that. Because if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't get that. And so the plan is with any proceeds I make from the YouTube channel is to put them back into paint supplies and to continue to grow and increase my channel. So everything, all your support and love will be going back into the channel to continue to create and to explore new products and all that good stuff. So thank you guys so very much. Today we are going to do a eucalyptus painting because I got some growing in my yard right now. And we are also going to be doing a flower in there, a purple flower in there. Yeah, we're gonna do purple. I like the colors of them. I did a little trial one last night. I'll show you guys here. It'll be very similar to this. So yeah, I was just playing around with some paint last night at the end of the day, and I love eucalyptus. It's one of my favorite pieces of greenery out there. So I thought, hey, why not try a little greenery? We really haven't done something like that. But of course, I think it would be too boring if it was just greenery. So I had to throw a flower in there. Also, disclaimer, you guys, I got a new kitten and his name is Montana, but I'm nicknaming him Monty for short. So he is ripping around in the background. You can hear him. And I'm gonna do a better job of training him not to come into my videos. I'm gonna try my hardest to keep him off of the island. So, so we'll see how that goes. Anyways, you guys, the supplies I'm using today, the Mungyo watercolor paint set, my number 8 round long brush, Aqua Elite as usual. I'm going to be using my number 10-0 and my number 1 script. Number 1 script. Where's the 10-0 in here? Oh yeah. And then the 10-0, it's a liner brush. So I'll be using those. I am also using, you might have missed this tutorial, but a few weeks ago or a month ago, Speedball came out with a set of 4 small little containers of a metallic ink. So I've got the minty green one here that I'm going to use today, but in the package there was a purple, a sky blue kind of, and then a magenta pink. So I'm going to use the minty teal green one in with this as well. So but any metallic ink will do. It doesn't matter what color. I predominantly stick to metallic gold and silver. Those are the ones that I truly love, but because this kind of went well with the eucalyptus, I figured, why not? Come here, buddy. Here's our newest member, Monty. Tex is not too sure what to think of him yet. But last night we all slept together in the same bed, so I figure we will be fine. It may just take a little while. But anyways, that's the newest member. You can hear him jingle jangling around in the background. Hopefully he goes for a nap because he is only 8 weeks old. And I just got him from a rescue. Anyways, you guys, enough about that. Let's get painting. I think I was in such a rush there, you guys. I forgot to, I was just so excited about this painting. Okay, so I'm using the Canson watercolor paper. I will also be using a 01 micron archival ink pen. So you guys have all of that. I was just in too much of a hurry. So here is our drawing. I'll leave a screenshot of that for you guys up there so you can take a picture. I have drawn it out again because this is a multi-layer painting and we're using the dot technique, it is important to, for me at least, to have it drawn out to stay within the composition and not get too crazy, because I can really sometimes overwork a painting and then unfortunately it loses its pizzazz and then I've got to start over. So for the eucalyptus itself, we're going to be using a lot of the permanent light blue. I think that is the light blue. So it looks like a sky blue. We're going to be using that one. We are going to be using a mixture of the Russian blue mixed with black to really tone it down. So it kind of is, so it looks, you know, a little bit more moody. It almost looks a bit like the indigo, but it has a bit more of that Russian blue in it. We'll add a little bit of perhaps purple, maybe some cool pink in there. I don't know if you guys can see those. So we are going to be using a few different colors of dots. Again, if you don't have the Mungyo paint set, I'm not sure if I mentioned that is what I was using as well. If you don't have the Mungyo paint set, no sweat, just use what you have in similar colors. And we are going to be doing that dot technique that I have been using for the last little bit. It's been a lot of fun and really starting to feel really comfortable with it and really enjoy it. So we're going to start up here at the top and work our way down and over to the right. So we're going to be on the left-hand side. So we'll start with this one over here, and we are going to go in, because it's going to be a little set back, we are going to go in with a little bit of my mixed up paint. That's the Russian blue and the black together. Maybe you guys can see that there, this one over here. So lots of water, lots of paint on there. It's quite diluted, by the way. Like you can see it's a puddle in there. So we're going to put a couple of those darker dots over here. And then we're going to go in, and we are actually going to be using some green in here as well. And put a couple of a few of those light blue dots in. And then we'll go in with the green YO. So the green, no, I can't read it that far away. The green YO it says, but it's like green yellow, I'm sure. And we're going to put a couple dots of those in. So you're going to get your brush really cleaned off, and we're using that number 8 Aqua, as I said, and lots of water on there. Tap it off a couple times, and then we're going to go in and just flatten out that brush to get a good, nice sweep with that color. And just work it around that circle. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be in the lines. And then if you want, you can kind of go work out some of those dots that might have stayed behind. But I don't mind if a little bit of that shows. I quite enjoy a bit of that blast of color in there. So that's our first one. And already I love that. I think that looks really pretty. So then we can move on to the top one up here. We'll actually go into that one. The reason I started with this one is because it's behind this one. I want it to dry up. So we're going to go up to the top one, and we're going to go up to the top one here. Put down a couple dots of that light blue that looks sky bluey. We're going to throw in some of that Russian blue mixed with the black in there. And then we're going to go in with a dot of that green YO. And then I'm actually going to put a little dot of just straight purple in there. You'll see how beautiful this just kind of makes it all come together. So clean off your brush, tap it off 2, 3, 4 times. We still want quite a bit of water on there. And we're starting at the bottom, pushing way up and bringing it over the side and working it like that. Smudging out some of those dots if there's too much. Beauty. Like, look at how cute that purple in there looks. It just adds a little something else in there. So we'll go ahead and work on this one here because it's also set backward in the background a little bit. This time we're going to go with the same colors we've been using. Down with the light blue. Let's go in with a little bit of the deep green. Just to see. I didn't use any deep green on the last one that I did a practice on, so I'm going to try it out just a little bit. Clean off your brush, tap it off. Quite a bit of water on there. Beauty. It's awkward because I can't turn my page around because I'm filming this. They're so noisy. And just smudging it around a bit. Don't forget we do a lot of the detail with the micron pen and the calligraphy ink. With the dot technique, I really wanted to let you, or to tell you guys that, and to really accentuate the fact that this is not perfection in the sense of, you know, staying in the lines, and it's perfection in letting yourself just flow with the paint. And so it's really important to not overthink it and to not be overly critical of yourself. It's just a fun, oopsie daisy, I keep bumping the camera. It's just fun. And so here, this one's got lots of paint in it, so it's going to be very colorful. So I just want to show you guys the difference. So just say you load up a lot of paint and you're like, that's going to be busy. And it is going to be busy. So that one's got a lot of color in it, and you can see. But now we're going to do one. We can do this one because we started up here. We'll do this one, and we're only going to put a couple dots in and just show you. We're going to do 2 of those ones, 1 light blue, 1 purple, small purple. So not as much color as paint as that one, or the ones that we've done. And it's just a little bit lighter and brighter and not as much color, and that's okay. It just adds depth and dimension to these eucalyptus leaves, which is what we want. So we're doing the same one over here. Same all the way through, the dots, dots, dots. Now we have our 2 down here, and we can work on them right away. So this one is behind the flower, and we want to get in there, and we'll go a little bit deeper. So we're going to put in some of that Russian blue mixed with the black, a purple mixed with some of the black, and a dot of that light blue, just small. Go in there and do that. It's coming out from behind, so it's okay to look like it's got a shadow on it, because it really truly would. And then this is our last one here. So I'm gonna just go with this one with a light blue, the green YO, and drop of that, a little drop of that purple. Clean off your brush really good, and then still have quite a bit of water on it. Oh, I love how that one looks. I just love the blend of the colors so much. I'm just filling in the stem here with a little bit of that Russian blue mixed with that black. Brilliant. Doesn't that look beautiful, you guys? I think that already looks so, so good. All right, so now we're going to get into the flower, and this one is going to be a lot of fun as well. So it's going to be different layers for this flower. So we're going to work from the back petals forward to the front petals. So for these, we are going to use different tones of purple and different tones and shades of purple. And I'm gonna go in with the actual purple, like a nice purple, and I like true purple, and I want to mix it with some white to get a bit pastel-y looking, if you guys can see there. I'll show you on here. So it's a bit pastel-y. And you know, the Fuumuui might be nice for this, but I find the Fuumuui is still just it's a bit too opaque for what I want for this. Dot technique, yes. Clean off your brush really, really good. And I'm gonna start with this little petal poking out from the side here. I'm going in with that pastel purple, and I'm gonna put 1, 2 dots down. Clean off your brush. Actually, maybe we better go 3 dots with some water. Clean off your brush, and then it's gonna be very, very muted, which is perfect. We want these to be light back here because almost like that side of the petal is white. So we're gonna go and do this the same here. Except I'm gonna add in a little bit of that, I have a purple that has been mixed with some of the black as well. I'm gonna add a little bit of that back there too. And we're gonna go pop that in there. It's very light. This one too. The nice thing about painting this style is it can be fairly quick. It's not that you want your painting to necessarily be a fast painting, but sometimes it's nice to just get down and be able to create something without it being really involved. So that's what I love about this technique. It's fun, it's expressive, you can get a painting done, it looks gorgeous, and it really gets those creative juices flowing. So that's what I truly love about doing this technique. So while these dry, we can work on, which one looks the driest? We can work on some of these. We just have to be careful not to get them too close to the wet ones. If you wanted to, you could totally let this dry, but we're gonna live dangerously. So here I am going to go in with the permanent violet. I'm gonna mix it with that purple that's mixed with the black. So it's gonna be a deeper, richer purple as we move to the front petals. And we're leaving this one in here pretty much white for now. This one that's inside there. So we're gonna get deeper and richer. We're gonna use this color, purple. So nice, rich one. And as well as the pastel together. So I'm gonna start down here. 4 dots of that. Clean off your brush, go into that pastel purple. If you wanted to add something a little bit with pizzazz, you could just go add a little bit of that just straight purple in there. It's a little bit more true color. Again, clean off your brush, lots of water. And we're pushing down with it on its side. So we're getting a lot of drag. It's going to bleed a little bit, and that's okay. That's gonna make this look even better, but you just don't wanna lose sight of the petals. And remember, we do the petal detail with the micron and the metallic, so there's no problem there at all. We'll go in and do this one here on the side. So I'm gonna use that pastel purple again, a bit more of it there. I'm gonna go in with, I'm gonna add a little bit more black to that purple now. That one that I've been mixing up over here. I don't know if you guys will be able to see me. This one, it's got the permanent violet with the black and a little bit of purple in it. We're gonna dot those down here. Cleaning off the brush, and we're gonna go, now I'm awkward because I'm filming, but push down, lots and lots of drag, and pull it out. I have a little pool of color here. I don't really want that, so I'm gonna pick up a little bit of that by cleaning off my brush, drying off my brush, well, cleaning it, I should do that, and then drying it off. And then you can go in and pick up some of those pools of water just by having that dry brush. Now I want to add a little bit more darkness down in here. So while these are wet, I'm going to go pop a bit more of that dark purpley color in there. The purple mixed with the black. Also, while this is wet, because I do want a little bit of bleed happening here, I'm going to do this stem. So I want to do the stem in, I like the look of this olive green. Olive green. If you use whatever green tickles your fancy, but I'm not going to do the dots. I'm just going to go in and push a little bit of color around there and drag it down because I want it to bloom into the purple, and I want the purple to bloom into this. I don't want it too wet, which I definitely have it too wet. And then, you know, if you wanted to add a little bit of other green in there while it's wet. You can go and add a bit more in there just to have some dimension, but that looks good to me. So then we're going to work on this last petal over here, or I guess second last. This one here in the middle, I'm not sure we're going to put much color on that one, but this one over here, we're going to go deep purple. I'm going to add a little bit more black into that even. Some people have a fear of using black and white in their paintings. Not this girl. I'm here for it. Okay, and so with this one, so I've got my dark purples in there. And we're just gonna push down, maximum drag, maximum brush use of the brush. So we're not using just the tip when we pull all those colors through and blend them all together. But at the end, adding the detail is just with the tip of the brush. And I think that looks really good, but there's just a little too much water in there. So I'm gonna pick that up. And I do wanna add a bit more bright purple in there. So I'm gonna go in with the permanent violet while it's still wet. This one here, which is what we want to do. We're just going to drop, oh, my brush is too wet. Whew. Way too wet, the brush. You don't want your brush to be too dry, but you also don't want it to be too wet because then you just add more pockets and pools of water. I'm just dropping some of that deep purple in there too. I think that looks great. Move that around a little bit. Awesome. Oh, this looks so pretty already. Last but not least, this one petal, and you could leave it just totally white. I'm gonna add some purple into there. The pastel purple. And the permanent violet mixed with the black. Small dots. Now, this is tricky because you're in the middle of everything, so you don't wanna have your brush as saturated. So I'm gonna tap it off. I can see it's pretty shiny, and I'm going to just take a little off with my paper towel, and exact same thing. Not as much push down though, because we're keeping it in the middle there. Perfect. I think that looks really good. So we're going to let all of that dry, and now we're going to get out our Micron Archival ink pen. Clean off your brush. You can put away your paints or put them to the side now. Those are done for right now. We're still going to need our number 1 script brush and a number 10-0 liner brush. We can go in and do our line work. This is the fun part where you get to really just kind of flow and see what you come up with. I like to do a couple lines. I've been really enjoying the look of that. It gives me that feeling that my picture is more complete than with one line. I just try to let my hand flow how it wants to without too much thought. I find the looser I hold my pen, the more free-flowing my lines will be. Like, I just don't have such a tight grip on it. So you guys can see a little bit better. I like the look of that double line quite a bit. In reality, they say you should wait for your painting to be dry for minimum 24 hours, but I do not do that ever. Excellent. So we've outlined our eucalyptus, and I really like how that looks. Let me know what you guys think about that. I have been tempted to even do more line work and just kind of see where that goes and get even more. I might do that today after I'm done this painting and just have a little bit more flow going on and see if I can't come up with something really beautiful with that. But for now, we're going to keep it what we've been practicing and working on. These ones are almost dry, but not quite yet. We can work on the outer petals, the ones that we did the very first. So this back one. We've got our inside one. I guess maybe that was the last one we did. We'll go on this one over here. The back one, and then this back guy. The bottom, these are pretty dry, but the bottoms aren't. So we're going to go and do the outline of this one. We can kind come down and do her stem at the same time, or at least the one side of it. We'll do this big guy here. And then we'll go and do this. Then we'll get our last one. And then we gotta come down and do this side of this. Oh, I really love how that looks, you guys. I think that looks really great. So for the eucalyptus, I'm gonna use actually for all of it. We're not gonna get too crazy, but I'm gonna use this, which is the Speedball metallic. It's a teal blue with, it almost looks minty a little bit, but I think it's perfect for the eucalyptus. So we're gonna use that one, which I got these at Michael's. I can link them in the description, or link Michael's. I don't know yeah, I can link that, I think, that exact product. So at this point, what I do is I go through and I just add a little bit of highlighting to these by going into some of these gaps and just like so. So similar if you guys have been watching, doing the same thing that I continually do, just to add that little bit of highlighting in there. You don't have to do any of this. Again, this is your painting, so do what you love. If you don't like the double lines, if you like more lines, if you like less lines. I have a follower who did the line work on a free motion quilting machine. So get creative if you want. I think that could look really cool even with like cross stitching stitches. Same kind of idea if you were into that. You can use different colors of ink. So if you want to do the line work in green or blue or something different, go for it. Just be creative. This is your art. So and there's no end to what you do. There's a nice quote that goes around. I hear it on lots of videos, and it's like talks about being in a state of play. And I think that's so incredibly important when we're creating art, or creating in general. Actually, I shouldn't even just say art. Being creative in general is like just letting yourself play. And I don't think we do that enough in our world, in life. And so I think, and it doesn't matter what age you are, I think we always need to play a little bit. So do that, and don't overthink it. Like there's no right, there's no wrong. I'm not here to, I have lots of people that send me their work and tag me and stuff like that. And I'm here to cheer for you and to encourage you, not to discourage you. There's no right or wrong. There's no, I'm here to help you remember your creativity and help to explore. So just have fun with whatever you're doing and don't overthink it. Those are my 2 cents. Again, use the supplies that I'm using, but don't be afraid to try something new. And I didn't do any background color on the last one that I did of this. And the reason being is that I like how it looks just with the stark white background. So I didn't do background, but of course you're always encouraged to do whatever you think looks best on yours. And I know that this is kind of contrasty with the purple and the teal green here, but I kind of thought if I went in with the purple, it might start to look tacky. It did cross my mind to go in with the purple metallic, but I think I'm sticking with this. I don't want it to look too rainbowy or too crazy. So, oh, you guys, I just love, I do the odd tutorial where it's a bit more muted color just because I know that the bright colors isn't for everyone. And then I'm like, why do I do that? I love color. I think we need more of it in our life. So I try every once in a while to do a tutorial where it's like, oh, you know, just mute it down a bit, tone her down. And then I think, I never get as many views and I never like it as much, but I want everybody to see that there's a little something for everybody. So, but I love the colors. So I had to do, after the last tutorial, I was like, I need bright and I need beautiful colors. Excellent. So at this point, we're done with the highlighting. And so what I like to do is go in with my Micron pen. I've done this demo before. I'll just show you quickly and then I'll go do it and then we'll check back in. But what I do is I go over some of those edges that I've got the green in because I don't stay in the lines all the time. So I do that throughout the painting just to keep that definition there and to keep that boldness and of the line. So we're all finished up with redefining those lines and now, or I'm all finished up, I should say. So I'm going to go in with that number 1 script brush and I'm going to go and, I think that's number 1. Anyways, and now I'm going to start with the flower by putting down a lot and then letting it get finer as we move out from the flower. If this is your first video, you'll be like, what the hell are you doing? Well, I've said in videos past that I think the reason I love this, I've decided this is it. And I can actually tell you the story. I have hollyhocks that grow. And when the bees get into the hollyhocks, they make an absolute mess of the pollen on all of the petals of the leaves. I love the way it looks. The bees all look really dirty or like full of pollen, and then there's pollen everywhere. And I just love the look of that. So that is that painting, you guys. Well, you guys, that was awesome. I love the tutorial of the eucalyptus. You know stuff? Oh yeah, there you can smell it down there. Anyways, I love the eucalyptus tutorial. I think it's so fun, so full of color. It's amazing. So the nice thing, as I always tell people when I do these tutorials, the nice thing about this is that you can go and play with any color. You can change up the color of the flower. You can change up the color of the eucalyptus. You can go more earth tones. You can go even brighter. That's the lovely thing. Explore, experiment. Like you can do so much with this technique and have just so much fun and come up with totally different looking paintings just by using a few different color combinations. So that is awesome. And the one thing I just want to say is to remember when you're doing painting like this is to just let yourself flow with the painting. Don't overthink it because that takes away from the beauty of doing the dot technique and just really like being able to flow with the paint. I think that that's what makes the painting absolutely beautiful is when it's just these organic brush strokes that make it, and they make it really come to life. So stick with that. Don't overthink it. Don't overdo it because sometimes when you overdo it, it becomes muddy. It really blurs what we're trying to see or trying to create. So make sure that when you go into it, you do a few practice rounds before you get going to shake out all that stiffness and then get to painting. So as usual, if you guys haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. That would be amazing. That really helps go a long way. If you haven't, or if you liked the video and the tutorial, please give me a like, share it with the people that you know and love that may be interested in learning how to watercolor paint or just interested in doing this tutorial. And yeah, if you like the video, give it a like. I want to give a little shout out to a follower, a subscriber, for giving me some super likes. Thank you so much for doing that and for supporting my channel. You know, that really means a lot to me, and it goes a long way. As I said before, all the money that I make from this YouTube channel is going to go back into my hobby of watercolor painting. So every little bit really helps. So to those of you who are supporting me, thank you, thank you, thank you. It means the world to me because never in a million years did I ever even think that I would be able to even make a cent off of YouTube, let alone, you know, enough to be able to buy a set of paints. So thank you. You know who you are. Thank you for giving me those super likes. I really, truly appreciate it. So thanks so much for watching, you guys, and we'll check you in the next tutorial. Anyways, I love the eucalyptus tutorial. I think it's so fun, so full of color. It's amazing. So the nice thing, as I always tell people when I do these tutorials, the nice thing about this is that you can go and play with any color. You can change up the color of the flower. You can change up the color of the eucalyptus. You can go more earth tones. You can go even brighter. That's the lovely thing. Explore, experiment. Like you can do so much with this technique and have just so much fun and come up with totally different looking paintings just by using a few different color combinations. So that is awesome. And the one thing I just want to say is to remember when you're doing painting like this is to just let yourself flow with the painting. Don't overthink it because that takes away from the beauty of doing the dot technique and just really like flow, being able to flow with the paint. I think that that's what makes the painting absolutely beautiful is when it's just these organic brush strokes that make it, and they make it really come to life. So stick with that. Don't overthink it. Don't overdo it because sometimes when you overdo it, it becomes muddy. It really blurs what we're trying to see or trying to create. So make sure that when you go into it, you do a few practice rounds before you get going to shake out all that stiffness and then get to painting. So as usual, if you guys haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. That would be amazing. That really helps go a long way. If you haven't, or if you like the video and the tutorial, please give me a like, share it with the people that you know and love that may be interested in learning how to watercolor paint or just interested in doing this tutorial. And yeah, if you like the video, give it a like. I want to give a little shout out to a follower, a subscriber for giving me some super likes. Thank you so much for doing that and for supporting my channel. You know, that really means a lot to me and it goes a long way. As I said before, all the money that I make from this YouTube channel is going to go back into my hobby of watercolor painting. So every little bit really helps. So to those of you who are supporting me, thank you, thank you, thank you. It means it means the world to me because never in a million years did I ever even think that I would be able to even make a cent off of YouTube, let alone, you know, enough to be able to buy a set of paints. So thank you. You know who you are. Thank you for giving me those super likes. I really, truly appreciate it. So thanks so much for watching, you guys, and we'll check you in the next tutorial.